turned up so you can hear us. Can you please let us know if you can hear us loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. See, what's top chat? What's top chat? What's the difference? What's top chat?
I don't know what top chat means.
Top
and live
chat,
chat.
live
I don't
chat,
know. Top
don't
chat,
know.
live chat. I don't know anymore. I don't know
Surely
anything.
it's live chat.
Good
Top
morning,
chat.
Coffee. Good morning, Morton. You can hear us great.
Marvellous.
Great.
Marvellous.
Hello there, Nicola. Sherry. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Cornish heaven, that sounds nice.
Good morning, Geraldine. Good morning, Claire from Brighton. Lovely Brighton. Hello, MC. Bridget from Belgium. Good morning, Gillian. Good morning, John.
Jennifer,
MJ, Sarah. Trandans.
What time is it with you, Jennifer? Is it 6 or is it earlier?
Hello, Carol. Nancy.
Nova
Gillian.
Scotia.
Stevie Weavy.
Oh, gosh. Cape Town.
Linnell.
Never been there.
Linnell. What a lovely name, Linnell.
Hi, Craig and Mike.
Hi, Craig and Mike. Monica. Morning.
Biling in.
Nancy New. Lovely.
Oh.
So welcome to
Sunday Chat.
Well done, Paul. Live and kicking. We've got 35 people with us at the moment.
It was quite interesting when we asked about, do you like lives or not? And most people seem to prefer, don't they?
Hello. Is it Ema? Your name? Ema? Is it Ema?
Emma?
Is it Emma? Emma? Let us know how it's pronounced.
6 a.m. Yeah.
Hello, Kim. I'm glad you look forward to it, John. Thank you very much.
Massachusetts.
Hello, Carol Ann.
Where's Minneapolis? Is that in Massachusetts?
You asking me?
I can't remember.
I don't bloody know. I don't know anything about the United States. I don't know where the states are.
Well, I'm sure you could point to them.
Well, we never did that at school. We never did America.
I think it's that way. That's where it is.
Good morning, Richard.
It always confuses me that London is sort of on the same level as Montreal, because I always used to think we were on the same level as New York, but we're actually further up.
We're on the same latitude, aren't we?
Yeah.
As Canada.
Yeah. But there we are.
But we don't get the same weather as Canada because we're warmed by the Gulf Stream.
We are.
And that's today's geography lesson.
And chilled by the Arctic winds, Arctic plumes that come
Minnesota.
Down. Minnesota, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Minneapolis,
Kim,
Minnesota.
It's 3 a.m. Are you crazy?
Where is that? Where's it 3 a.m? Oh,
Paul, stop messing it up.
It'd be 3 a.m. here. Oh, US is in that direction. Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on with the show. 62 people joining us here on this rather pleasant Sunday morning, if not a busy Sunday morning. Yes, we're still at it. We're still living in what feels like a building site. And I was doing a little bit of parkour this morning.
Well, you have been, haven't you?
Yeah, well,
it's a cross between parkour and Pilates, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm painting the landing floor outside the bedroom and the bathroom. And of course, it's got to be painted in sections. Otherwise, there'll be no access. And one does need to go to the loo.
Yeah, we do have a loo downstairs.
That's another story.
But that's another story.
Oh, yeah. What's happening is we're trying to do bits and pieces, and you end up doing half of one job, half of another job, because you can't do it as a full job when you're painting floors. You have to leave an access way. And also what's happening, hold on, let me just go back. So the reason I was doing parkour is because I was having to hold onto the walls to balance while I go across two little floorboards. You get what I'm talking about. Anyway, to go
Because
back
what
to
you're
the
doing is you're painting like 2 floorboards and leaving 4, and then painting one at the edge and one at the edge, leaving the middle. And then, of course, at some point you've got to do the middle.
Yeah. So at some point you've got to walk like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, to go back to the downstairs loo, the downstairs loo was almost finished. Well, in fact, it was finished. And what happened was I came to go to the loo and noticed there'd been a leak from the cistern, which had gone over the new paintwork. There's like a little boxed area underneath the cistern.
And because we'd mended the cistern because it had come forward a little and put it back against the wall, we think a little bit of the filler,
the sealant,
had come undone and caused a little leak. Fortunately, not too much, but yeah.
So we had to empty the cistern,
and it's drying out.
Turn the water supply off, let it dry out. And then that's another job that's got to be done to add to the humongous list of things. I tell you,
hey-ho.
Renting feels very appealing at this moment.
I mean, renting is, we have a small share of 2 properties that are rented in Aldershot. And I deal with all the inquiries about, our tap's not working properly, or that, I don't know, there's condensation on the window, things like that. And I deal with all of those issues when they come through. And it's sort of, we got a handyman in Aldershot who does most of these things, but we don't really know any handymen around here, apart from one person at the allotment who is going to help tomorrow. You're very handy, aren't you?
Well, I try. Let me just go back to say a few little hellos.
And Mandy, hope that improves. Hope after your operation that you improve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pain is just, it's so debilitating. It really, really is.
Yeah.
I mean, Vivi has had, loads of it over the last week or so.
Don't laugh too much, Mandy.
No. Vancouver weather is very similar to us, do you mean?
Hello, Lucy. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Gunilla. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Barbie Joe. Oh, what I love that name. Barbie Joe.
South Carolina as well.
I love names like that. I really do.
Yeah, renting is. Yeah, I remember when we first got together, we were renting.
Yeah.
There were 3 of us. And we were renting a house, and something went wrong, and we just called the landlady.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got your own house, I mean, this is not a small house, but it's not a huge house. But it's, detached. And actually, I worked out there are, including the hallways and landings, there are 13 rooms in this house.
Yeah.
And not all of them need to be done and decorated, but, a good number of them do. And there's always something to do. And the problem is that there are other things going on in life, like work, like health, family.
Yeah, but everyone has these, isn't they? They're the same for most people.
But what tends to happen with us is we tend to go, oh, that needs fixing. Oh, I'll just leave it. It'll probably fix itself.
Well, I don't know about
Some things do.
Like...
you
can't think of anything.
I'm sure there are a few things that have just fixed themselves over the years and found their own way.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Hello, Janet. Hello, Lily.
Yeah, I think renting can be a pain, but I think in the UK there's quite a lot of rights around renting. So, yeah.
Morning, Vivi.
Morning, Vivi.
Hi, Grace. Morning, Grace. Yeah, I think the thing about buying a property, it's about the investment. And it's in London, it's about the amount of money that you can make in a relatively short space of time if you live in certain areas.
Potentially make, not can.
Well,
Potentially.
can, Paul? I felt like a muppet then.
You look like a muppet.
I do look like a muppet this morning. I do apologise, everybody.
Anyway,
let's get on with the show. I've got a list.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say congratulations to Vivi on completing the kitchen reno.
Yeah.
I saw the video this morning. Wow.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw it popped up, but not being able to
I have to admit, I didn't have time to watch the whole thing, so I skipped to the end to see the reno completion. And fabulous. Looks absolutely fresh, clean, and fabulous. So wish we could say the same. I've got the book.
You got the book.
Good morning, Tina. Renting when you have animals is getting more difficult.
I'm sure. Yeah. Our rental came with an animal.
Yeah, it did. We took on a rental with a cat once, many years ago.
When we moved, the cat moved with us.
That was 30 years ago.
That was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I almost said the F word then, but I won't because there may be children watching.
Almost 30 years ago. Was it September?
It was October.
October.
And if you remember, we went to see the premiere of the Kate Bush film, The Line, the Cross and the Curve, at Leicester Square. And I had an ear infection.
You did,
I was really poorly for about a month, wasn't I? Yeah. Good morning, Stephen.
But there we are. I'm sure if we put
I am a Fraggle.
I don't know if we put it on live chat, won't it?
I don't know.
All messages of live chat, all messages are visible.
What, all the time?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Yeah.
Anyway, so
gone.
Also, no, I don't think it works like that, Paul. I've told you that before.
Well,
I think it's just going to disappear. There we are.
Well, look, wait for somebody to put something and then we'll see if it comes back.
Okay.
Yeah, technology. Yeah.
Anyway, so
Liz.
Hello, welcome everybody, and welcome to the show. What did I want to say? Oh, yeah. And welcome to new subscribers. We've had a few new subscribers recently. Thank you for joining us.
We haven't had any funny subscriber numbers, have we?
Oh, look, it did come on its own.
There we are. See, I put the right one on. There we are.
Oh, you did well, Paul.
Yeah.
Good morning, Jackie. Happy birthday to your dad, Carol Ann.
88.
Good morning, Jennifer.
And happy birthday to my mum for next week.
Oh, yeah. And how many years does she have, please?
Well, she will have 91.
91.
Yeah.
Lovely. How nice. What was that?
That was a car, Richard. We live at the side of a road.
I thought it was some kind of evil person in a red coat running around the streets.
After last week's flying potato, now you think a little car is a person in the street.
And another thing that's just happened, Paul went out this morning to do a little bit of finishing off on the masonry paint, and a cat's just walked.
Yeah.
I mean, literally everything we seem to do at the moment gets scuppered somehow. And all we need now is a tornado. Really.
It was quite funny because it just came on the window and had a look in to check we were here, and Richard went, "Oh," and I went, "Oh,
my paint." It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm one step away from getting the crazy bus to Crazy Town. I really am.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There we are. Anyway, I had a chipmunk walk through my cement pave. Our terracotta tiles in our kitchen, which came from Portugal, they've actually got animal prints in them as well, and bird prints.
I thought they were Mexican. Prints.
No, they're Portuguese. They're Portuguese.
Oh.
It wouldn't have come all the way from Mexico, would they?
So, Paul, I thought they were
Portuguese terracotta.
Antique Mexican terracotta.
I have no idea where you got that from. I don't know. It actually had the make date on them.
Hello, Beverly.
Packet when it
Welcome.
arrived.
So anyway, let's kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report. Paul, what has the weather been like this week?
It's been very mixed. In the sun, it's been really warm. On certain days, there's been a wind, which has been really chilling. Your body has been warm, but the extremities had to have gloves because it was so cold. We've had more rain, but not torrential rain. Oh no, we did, didn't we? Bank holiday Monday. We had a squall on Bank Holiday Monday. An absolute squall came through.
Again,
Yeah.
what had we done the day before?
Painting.
Painted outside.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from painting and things. Let's just go to normal life.
Our lives are paint.
Yeah,
I am paint.
So yeah, it's been a really sort of mixed bag of weather, but it looks as though it's now beginning to warm up. It's going to dip again in about a week, just over a week. It's going to dip back down from a really sort of, I think from 21 degrees back down to about 11. And then hopefully it's just going to be good weather from then on. So yeah, warmer weather at the end of this week. Fingers crossed.
I really don't know how we go on. Help us. If there is a millionaire out there, a multi-millionaire,
A billionaire.
a billionaire,
Yeah, a gazillionaire.
who wants to adopt us as their personal private houseboys,
Oh, that sounds a bit naughty, doesn't it?
I'll do anything.
Yeah, there we are. I think it gets to a stage in life where actually you virtually would do anything.
Yeah, I don't care
I
anymore.
think it does.
We've reached that stage.
Yeah.
We've reached that stage.
Yeah.
And, you know, I say take the crazy bus to Crazy Town, and I mean it.
Oh.
I was one step away from sitting in a corner, covering myself in a blanket and just rocking.
He did say that this morning, actually. He did
I'm
say
not
that.
joking. I'm not joking. I mean, I know we're laughing, but it's a crazy laugh.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
And breathe. So, yeah.
So someone suggested we could be pool boys, didn't they? And yeah, pool boys. I could be the sort of flotation device in the swimming pool.
You wouldn't
And you
float,
could be
Paul.
you could be in your speedos
No.
doing the cleaning.
No. No.
Oh dear, you budgie smugglers.
Is it the paint fumes? Probably.
I don't think so.
Probably.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
We do use low volatile organic
Oh.
compound paint. What's in your hair, Paul? What's in Paul's hair today? Is it a creature?
No, I think it's a bit of paint.
A bit of paint?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of paint.
So Paul's been strimming this morning, haven't you, Paul?
I
in the back
have.
garden.
I have. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose it, I think. Yeah, I've been strimming in the back garden. Just
Don't start.
oh, dear.
No.
So I've been.
What are you laughing about?
I don't know.
That's it. It's happened.
So I've been strimming the lawn in the back garden. Richard's lawn
Sorry.
in the back garden.
Richard's lawn. That's
Um,
my lawn. Mm.
Oh yeah, so that comes with a lot of trepidation because because you've been nurturing that lawn and cosseting it and looking at it and saying how wonderful it is.
Well,
So
it was
yeah,
quite lush.
it was quite lush. It's not so lush now because it has been trimmed. And
I hope you've left some of the grass clippings on.
Oh yeah, no, I've raked the
Because
top layer off.
I tell you what,
yeah.
good tip. People rake their lawns like crazy. And I noticed at work that when the gardeners come in, they leave the grass clippings on the lawn. They don't rake them up. They don't remove them. And the lawns are so lush and green. And I tried it last year and it does work.
Yeah.
It looks unsightly for a little while. But once it's gone into the grass,
Well, it breaks down and
it breaks
adds
down and it
nutrients.
provides the
Nutrients.
nutrients. No, don't start me off. Yeah, that was the moment where we tipped over the edge.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you know, it's not a bad moment if you tip over the edge into hysterical laughter. It's if you tip over the edge and fall on the floor and just have to gently rock.
On Monday, when that squall came through, after it had abated, Richard just was looking at his phone and flicking things, and I said, I'm going to the plot. So we had our separate sort of hour, didn't we? And then, but it was all right in the end. There we are, all right in the end.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so weather, as we've said.
But the thing is, with a very young lawn, it's good to rake what you can up. I don't mean scrape the ground, but it's good to rake what you can up. But certainly there's some that has been left. Because what you don't want with a young lawn on its first cut is for that grass to go down onto it, because it will actually inhibit growth, and it may make it go yellow on the first few cuts of a new lawn.
Well, if you remember, I don't know what those of you who follow us on other platforms like Richard and Paul on Facebook, Planet Vegetaria, that's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul's Insta. Stop it!
Yeah.
They won't think we're very professional, Paul.
I think we are very professional. Someone did say to me last week, the week before, they said, why don't you look at seeing if you could take over in the summer on Good Morning Britain or This Morning or something? I said, because we'd be completely I would be completely incompetent to do it. I think you'd be quite good, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you'd be quite good.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
So weather has been changeable, skipping around again. Weather has been changeable, but I have to say, it's been... Paul, I will send you out.
We don't come here for professionalism. What that tells us.
And we thought we were doing a good job of being presenters for this show. Honestly.
Oh, that's so funny.
Stop it. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's all coming out now.
Yeah, it's all coming out. God.
Oh, dear
The
me.
truth
me.
will out. Paul, come on now.
Oh.
If you don't get it together, I'll insult you in some way, shape, or form.
I'm sitting up. I'm ready. Be more professional. We're not amateurs.
There we are.
Right, okay, slump again. Yeah. Oh, right.
We do apologise.
Yeah, there we are.
We do apologise.
Oh, you're wearing Stevie Weavy's jumper again.
Yes, I am. Actually, this needs a good wash. It stinks. Anyway.
You had a bath yesterday.
No, but the jumper has been worn.
Oh, right. Overworn.
Overworn.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not too bad. It smells of Chanel.
Well, that's because you sprayed Chanel on it last night.
I use Chanel like Febreze.
Yeah.
I
You don't spray it around the room like Febreze. You mean for yourself?
Yeah.
Do you spray it around the room?
Sometimes. What's wrong with the smell of Chanel?
Honestly.
When a guest is coming.
Oh, Febreze, honestly.
Let's move on, Paul.
Was that in the 80s, Febreze?
Febreze? No. I used to use Febreze. I like the smell of Febreze.
There we are. Yeah.
Anyway, so Easter is over. The holiday period has finished.
Well, but we do have 3 holiday days in May coming up, don't we?
We do, yes, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
Hail the King.
Yeah.
The coronation's coming up, so that'll be fun.
Well, it's another day off, isn't it?
It's a day off, and it's a day of doing some painting and decorating. That's what I'll be doing it.
Well,
I mean,
our house will be on the market by then.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll still be doing jobs.
We will still be doing jobs. We were
Keeping
talking
it
about
clean.
this last night, or yesterday, in fact, that actually we're sort of, well, once some windows are done and the floor is done upstairs, we're sort of at that stage now where the house can go on the market, but there's still other things that will need to be done.
Yeah, I mean, they're just repair jobs that would need to be done anyway.
Yeah.
We unblocked a a doodah yesterday.
A drain pipe.
A drain pipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was good. That was some good work. And I used bicarb and vinegar to do that job.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
It worked.
We couldn't get a stick through it because I think clearly the debris had set. So I said to Paul, get some bicarb and vinegar, let's try it. And it foamed up, unblocked virtually immediately, which was great. Yeah. So that was a good job done.
Have we been invited to the coronation?
No.
No.
And I don't think I'd go anyway because, you know what, I was thinking about this, Paul, the other day, and I thought, you know, if you received an invite to the coronation, my first thought would be, what the hell am I going to wear?
Yeah,
because
that's
I
true.
would have to either hire something or buy something new. And, you know, no, I can't afford to do that.
No.
I can barely afford to buy a new pair of jeans.
Yeah.
They're so expensive these days.
They are. So no, we haven't been invited.
No. And thank goodness for that.
I was invited to a garden party once. That was when I was at Social Farms and Gardens, but I said that I wasn't interested in going. So another long-term person went instead, which was fine.
I mean, who wants to stand around wearing posh clothes, slowly getting drunk?
Mum did. Well, she didn't get drunk, did she?
No, but we would if we went to a garden party because I'd be so bored.
Yeah. So Mum went, it must have been about 10 years ago, maybe even more, with the Red Cross from Guernsey. She went with I think there was about 10 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That was quite a while ago, actually.
And she found it a long day.
She did, yes.
Didn't she?
Yeah. They all met up at the Rubens Hotel in Victoria and then walked to Buckingham Palace into the gardens. And we met her later on in the day. Or Dad and I. You didn't, did you? You were working, I think. Yeah. Anyway, there we are. Just going off at a tangent.
We could do a coronation commentary, but the problem with doing things like that is that you infringe copyright.
Yeah.
Immediately by showing or by having an audio feed from somebody else or a TV feed from somebody else. So you can only do it just by narrating what you see, which would be a blooming long video because I think these things, they go on, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Lucy, did Mum see the Queen? No, I think it was Charles and Camilla and Edward and Sophie at that one. I've met the Queen 3 times.
But we certainly do wish all of the royals well.
Yeah.
For the occasion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All of them.
So news about my work. So
thank you, Caroline.
News about my work. I will be returning to part-time within the next 2 weeks. So we've got a new member of staff starting next week. I'm going to have to train her up in the job and she's going to have 2.5 days training. That's it, which is kind of what I had. And then the week after I'll be able to return to part-time.
Yay!
Hurrah! Which is great news. Very, very pleased.
And I mean, the thing is, you've written a Bible for the job, haven't you?
Yes, of course. So I wrote a training manual. So it's all there and it's all up to date. I keep it up to date. And it's very easy to train in my job. And luckily, the person already works for the local council. So they are already aware of the systems. So I don't have to train anybody on the systems, which is good. So it's just how to handle people that come into reception and also how to be with people with learning disabilities. So, you know, there are sort of extra communication techniques that you have to use. You have to think carefully about what people are saying. Some people find it hard to express themselves. So you have to have lots of patience. And you also have to deal with people who are very often in distress about one thing or another. So there's lots of patience, lots of listening, lots of understanding, no rushing. You know, you don't fire multiple questions at people. you have to wait and process and allow other people to process what they're hearing, what their understanding is, check people's understanding. Um, so yeah, it's all of those things. And when people haven't worked in disabilities, sometimes they can find it a little daunting, especially when people are non-verbal. You're using a little bit of Makaton, sign language. So it's things like that that the person will have to get used to. It's not difficult. I've never found it difficult.
No, and you've largely enjoyed it and that
Of course,
interaction, haven't you?
I really enjoy interacting with people with learning disabilities and their parents and carers. So it's what makes the job worthwhile to me. I really enjoy it. So yeah, so I've got that to look forward to. It'll be a challenge. I've done it before several times, so that's all good.
And Jennifer, hopefully not time for painting, hopefully time for visiting houses. And
Yeah.
you know, that's sort, once the house is on the market, that's obviously our next step, because Richard's keeping an eye on what's available. You've got several things
Yes, I have.
bookmarked, haven't you,
Yeah.
in one way or another? So yeah, fingers crossed.
The property market at the moment, what seems to be happening is properties come on the market well overpriced. I've noticed this, and within 2 to 3 weeks, they are then reposted at a reduced rate. So that is happening quite a lot. It's fairly slow. There's a couple of really nice properties that I've seen in Wales. And as soon as this property goes on the market, we'll be making a trip up north to see probably 3 properties in a weekend. I think we could do.
Yeah.
The difficulty is the distance between the properties that I've seen. They're not in one particular area. They are probably within 20, 30 miles of each other. So
so that can be like 30, even 40-minute drive.
Yeah, and then you've got to build in time to have a break, to have lunch. Do you know what I mean? To actually drive up there itself. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but we're ready for that. And we're prepared for it. We saw a property a few years ago. We took a day trip to see a property, didn't we, in Wales?
Yeah.
And we're hit by really bad weather, if you remember.
Yeah, terrible. And the sat nav took us up a really narrow lane that really wasn't impassable. And it was just the size of our car, the width of our car. And there were big ruts at the side of the road where the tyres were going over and water gushing down. So by the time we actually got to the house, I think we were quite stressed already.
Yeah, we love Kent, Stevie. We've got friends who live in Hythe in Kent, and it's a beautiful part of the world. But it's not the part of the world that we're looking at.
No.
We're moving up north, mainly because I want to be a little nearer to my family, within a shorter driving distance to the family, which is good. Well, we've actually got a friend who has offered us accommodation in Cheshire, and of course we've got the family as well. So yeah, we'll be stopping over with them, I would have thought, and then doing sort of a day excursion into Wales, which is a lot nearer than doing a day excursion from London. It's a big old drive from London, and we're just getting too long in the tooth to do that in one day.
Yeah, it takes us about 4 hours to drive to that part of Wales. Yeah, from London.
You get to a certain point and the motorways stop. You've not got motorways that extend right into North Wales. So it's A roads and B roads, which even though the locals in Wales are very used to driving on those roads at speed, we're not.
No.
And we very often get cars stuck behind us, and we're in Fenella, who's not the speediest of vehicles.
Especially when going up mountain ranges.
No, she doesn't like steep hills at all.
But fair enough, she's like us. She's getting on a bit. She doesn't like steep hills.
Well, she's getting on, but she's only got a small engine.
Yeah.
She's only a 998 engine, which is just under 1 litre. So she's not that powerful. So, but yeah, we manage, I guess we could think about hiring a vehicle for the day, for the weekend.
Yeah, we
to do
could
that.
think about that.
Yeah.
Most probably won't, but we could think about that.
So,
Ever thought about getting a caravan? No.
why
No.
not?
I have never thought about getting a caravan.
You've never thought about it?
No. A static caravan, but a touring caravan.
Oh no,
No.
I wouldn't have a touring caravan. No way, man. A little motorhome, perhaps.
Yeah.
My dad had a little motorhome. He did lots of excursions for a few years.
He went to Europe, mainland Europe. Well, Europe now. Yeah. In it.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when we move to Wales, we will have to put a little bit of money aside to buy a more robust vehicle. We would keep Fenella as a little local runaround, but yes. So there you go.
Yeah, there's a difference, Caroline, between learning disabilities and learning difficulties. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there are. I get asked that question quite a lot because our team doesn't deal with people who have got learning difficulties. We deal with people with moderate to severe learning disabilities, which means they need help to get through the day, to do, quite a lot of basic tasks. Whereas people with learning difficulties, a good example to those of you who don't know, a learning difficulty might be dyslexia. So yeah, there you go. It's a little more complex than that, but hey, we haven't got time to go into that here. So Paul, what's been in the news this week that we have noted?
Juice.
Yeah.
Juice.
Now, we like a bit of space. And we were watching The Sky at Night the other night.
We were, yeah.
And there was a section on that about the JUICE mission, which is the mission to Jupiter to study the 3 largest moons, Ganymede, Europa, and Callisto, to look at the potential for there to be some kind of life.
Interesting.
Which is really interesting. Now, look, before people start saying, oh, it costs billions and that money should be spent on other things, I agree. But they don't spend it on other things. They spend it on that. So we enjoy space. So we wish that mission a lot of luck.
It was delayed by a day.
It was.
I think it was due to take off on Thursday, I think it was, and it took off on Friday, I think, or Friday and Saturday. It was 24-hour delay, and that was because of the potential for lightning when it was supposed to take off.
What I find incredible about these things is the human ingenuity that goes on to make up these missions. And, we talk about having stress about doing a little bit of painting and a cat walking across wet paint. When you see what these guys have achieved, I can't imagine the stress of things going wrong at that kind of level with that kind of money involved.
Yeah.
They must be so tense.
Well, it's like the James Webb Telescope, wasn't it? There were so many hundreds and thousands of things that needed to go right for it to be able to be where it is now, doing what it is doing, bringing us new images so that we can understand what's going on. I mean, it's just incredible.
I think, it's the human endeavour that I think is absolutely incredible and amazing, and the dedication that people have very often over the course of a lifetime.
Well, I think the lady working on it now, who's one of the leads on JUICE, has been on it for 10 years and will be on it for another 30 for the rest of her working life. That's extraordinary.
It is extraordinary, and I always think of things like the pyramids. And I was talking to somebody the other day about the pyramids and how they were built and all the different theories around it. And not only were people involved probably for their lifetime, but for multiple
Multiple
lifetimes
generations.
of people working on those kind of things in the past. And I mean, you know, okay, a lot of those people could well have been slave workers. But in modern times, there have been people working on projects for whole lifetimes, like science projects, that may not see the fruits of their labour.
Well, it's that thing, isn't it? To plant a tree is to believe in the future.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah. But I was thinking what I was saying about, you know, this woman who's working all her life or much of her life now in juice. Of course, there are those people who work in nursing and care and all of that all of their lives as well. So they're just as remarkable.
Yeah, it's about human dedication.
Absolutely.
Isn't it, to something.
Yeah.
And it's you know, I think people are amazing to do what they're doing. I think we're amazing to do the things that we've been doing recently because we're absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
And
building cathedrals, absolutely.
Well, look at the one in Spain. I can't.
Is it Barcelona?
The amazing one that's still being.
Vivi will know that.
Still being built, isn't it?
Yeah.
A friend of mine at work has recently been there, and the pictures are incredible. I'd love to visit that cathedral.
But there's also
cathedral, as they say.
And there's also another one where a religious person has been building it himself, isn't it? That we saw. Alex Polizzi saw that one.
Yes. Was it in Italy?
I can't remember. Spain.
Yeah. Was it Spain? And of course, they're rebuilding Notre Dame at the moment as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they reckon it's going to be finished in 2024.
Really? Gosh, that's quick.
Yeah, because they put so much effort into it. Incredible. And I guess, you know, people are motivated nowadays by different things like huge amounts of money to do such projects. And I guess people do get well paid for doing those projects.
Well, some people will.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a bit of an incentive. Unlike us doing our painting, what incentive do we have? Well, the profit that we're going to make when we sell the house, that's the incentive. So yes, that was interesting.
Yeah.
We also saw in the news an article which was annoying me. That's it. Thank you, Vivi. Maybe we'll do a trip there one day when I've got a passport. That would help.
When Vivi and we have both moved and settled, you've got a passport. I think Vivi's already got a passport anyway. Yeah. We can go.
Yeah, I think we should.
My passport expires in 2027.
Oh, we'll renew them at the same time. The other thing in the news that annoyed me is the bloody smart motorways.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know whether, if you're not in the UK, you won't probably know this, but
they have them elsewhere as well.
For the past few years, some of our motorways have been transformed into smart motorways, and we've driven down a few of them. And when they were building them, we were like, "Oh, smart motorways, what's that going to be? Is it going to be free Wi-Fi?"
Which would be useful.
Well, yeah, but not useful for a driver.
For streaming, radio and things like that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And what's it going to do? What's the smart motorway? How smart is it going to be? Well, actually, they turned out to be a death trap, because what they've done on some of them is, normally our motorways are 3 lanes, unless it's the M25, which in places it's 4 or 5 lanes. Yeah. With the hard shoulder to pull over into if you have an accident or your car breaks down.
Or an emergency.
So this is how it's been for many years. So on some of these smart motorways, the hard shoulder is used as an extra lane.
At certain times of the day.
At certain times, to ease congestion, with pulling in places for emergencies, which have always seemed a bit strange to me, because what if you break down and you're not near one of the pull-in areas.
Yeah, I think they're about every half a mile, like the phones are, something like that.
I mean, cars, we know from experience, we broke down on the motorway unexpectedly many years ago on Boxing Day,
Yeah.
travelling up north to see the family.
And we had to pull in straight away, not wait for another half a mile.
No, the car cut out.
Yeah, power went.
Power went.
Totally.
The steering went. It became very heavy and we had to pull over. So if that happens, you're stuck. And this has caused deaths.
Yeah.
So
dozens a year,
yeah.
in fact.
So they're now saying, having poured billions into these projects, they're now saying that they're not going to be doing this.
Yeah, so there's one which is in progress and they're finishing that one, even though they know it's dangerous, which I think is really bizarre. And they've cancelled 11 others that they were going to do. But it's something like 40% of the motorway network is now smart motorways.
So to go back to what I was saying about the JUICE mission and the money that they pour into that, when it comes down to homegrown stuff in the UK, how many billions could have been diverted from this smart motorway project to social care, for example?
Yeah. It feels as though in the UK, we're always, and maybe this is the same around the world, we're always trying to get somewhere quicker. And actually, we need to start thinking about getting places better rather than quicker. Because actually, I mean, it's like HS2. For us to get HS2 to Birmingham, once it eventually opens in 2034, whenever it is, it would take us an extra 30 minutes to get there, because we've got to, instead of getting the fast train that we can now get into London, to get the train from London to Birmingham, we'd have to cut across the sort of northwest area of London to get to the place that the HS2 stops at.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't save us any time.
Paul, your hands are filthy, I've just noticed.
Well, I have anyway, so yes, there we are, smart motorways and trains and dirty hands.
These are, you know...
dirty hands, that sounds a bit naughty.
Oh, dirty.
Dirty.
Dirty,
yeah.
dirty.
Dirty.
These are vanity projects very often.
Well, they
I
are.
used to get the impression that we were playing catch up with Europe, you know, that, oh, you know, Europe has got the high-speed TGV, you know, oh, we need one of those. Oh, Europe has got smart motorways. We need one of those. And it just doesn't seem to work in the UK, you know. They always seem to do this backtracking, you know. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, bring back the hard shoulder.
So when I was in Italy, I always found their roads really, really good. The motorways really, really good. And the road system, in fact. There we are.
Did you?
Yeah,
good.
I liked.
Well, in Germany, don't they have in Germany the Autobahn?
Well,
and you can drive however fast you want.
Yeah, within reason and weather permitting. Yeah. Anyway, there we are.
But people do that in the UK as well.
Yeah. HS2 is a white elephant that's destroying ancient forests as well.
Well, even people at work are complaining about the Elizabeth line at the moment.
Are they?
Saying it's delayed all the time. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh. I think there is some confusion actually between the Elizabeth line and other rail lines that run through, other rail timetables that run through our local station.
If people need clarification on that, Paul, they can go to Transport for London.
They can, absolutely.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Super duper. Let's move on. What else is in the news? Oh, the Grand National. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, why?
Let's just get one thing straight. I don't agree with horse racing. I don't agree with the use of horses for gambling, for making money out of people. I don't agree with it at all. I think the concept of breaking in a horse, is it breaking in? Is horrible. I don't like it. And the Grand National is, again, it's been protested against.
Well, it was delayed, wasn't it?
How many
because of
horses
it?
were killed?
I
3?
don't know. I don't read anything about the Grand National because I think it's just horrific.
Just think it's awful. And I think it's about time that it was just stopped. I don't know. How do you feel about horses being used in this way?
Well, particularly the Grand National, you know, because it is such a dangerous course for horses. It just is, you know, and riders, of course.
I think it's horrendous. I think in this day and age, we need to wake up and stop using animals in this way. I think it's terrible. I'm using my Vivid Balm.
Anyway, what else is on there? Harry Potter.
Oh, this annoyed me as well. Now, I'm not a particularly big Harry Potter fan. I don't know about you. But they're remaking Harry Potter. I mean, I've seen some of the films and, you know, I kind of enjoyed them. They're a little bit fast moving for my taste. Oh, no, they are, because I've said this before. They all talk too quickly. They're like, blah, 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 Harry, blah, 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 spells, blah, 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 wave your magic wand, blah, 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 blah. And you think, what's going on? What's going on? And they're now remaking it into a decade-long TV series.
Decade long?
Yeah.
Wow. You see, I find that really... Yeah, I think I would watch the TV series. I've not read Harry Potter. I've not really watched any of the films other than bits.
Why would you watch the show then if you don't?
Because I think TV shows are generally much more interesting than films. That's why they seem sort of better now.
I don't understand.
Very often.
Well, look, yes. I mean, there are some epic TV shows that we watch. Mandalorian, for example, brilliant. But I just think it's a money-making exercise. She doesn't need to make any more money, does she? What, baby?
Well, virtually everything in the world is a money-making exercise.
I know, but I'm talking about another. I'm talking about greed.
Oh, well, that's different.
Pure
greed is different.
I mean, isn't J.K. Rowling, doodah la la, isn't she richer than the Queen was?
Yeah, but she's given sort of $500 million away, hasn't she, to good causes? I mean, that's the thing with J.K. Rowling. You know, she came from nothing, created Harry Potter, made an absolute fortune, and gave most of it away.
Well, good
so
for
actually,
her.
If she's going to make another $500 million and give most of it away to good causes, yeah, I'm all for it.
Well,
there we are.
Exactly.
We have a difference of opinion in the household.
I agree with you, Vivi. I never really got into Harry Potter, although, I mean, the films were kind of enjoyable and they had quite a few good actors in them. Maggie Smith, Julie Walters, that tall guy. I can't remember.
Yeah, there were lots of famous people. Miriam Margolyes in it.
Who said something about Rocky Horror? You went to see the Rocky Horror. I like the film, Rebecca. I'm a big fan of the film. The live show, not so much, because there tends to be too much heckling going on. And I know that they're starting to clamp down on that.
Audience participation, also in the news this week. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the news this week, the women that got thrown out of that show
for singing.
What was it? The Bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
For basically getting drunk and singing along and spoiling the show for everybody else.
Just clarification: we don't know they were drunk.
They were.
Don't know that.
Were.
Don't know that. I mean, I have to say, with audience participation, I
Yeah.
must have worked on about 20 shows where I have used one phrase or another around dancing in the aisles, and that, that for the right type of show is fine. Like Boogie Nights, it was people would really enjoy it and then be dancing in the aisle at the end.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be quite embarrassing. I have to say that I once performed in front of an audience on the West End stage.
What's that for OnlyFans then?
No, I genuinely performed on the West End stage in front of a full audience. Yeah, can you guess what the show was, Paul?
No.
God, I can't even remember the name of the show, but it had audience participation. And they got audience members on the stage. And I just got swept up with the crowd. And I ended up on the stage doing something. I don't know what it was, the conga or something.
Fair enough, yeah.
Was it Five Guys Named Mo?
Oh, Five Guys Named Mo, that had a lot of audience participation.
Oh, God,
yeah.
It was like hell.
Yeah.
It was like hell. And by the time I was back in my seat, I didn't know what had happened. No, I honestly didn't. I thought, was I just up there? I'm sure I was. This is hell.
I did work on a show doing the marketing and PR for a show called Puppetry of the Penis once.
Oh yeah, we've got the book.
Yeah, and on one night in Edinburgh, a member of the audience got up on stage, asked to go up on stage to participate, and they did quite well. I think their sort of puppetry was some type of dinosaur. Yeah, that was very bizarre. Quite a bizarre show. I worked on it for about 5
well,
years.
Though, didn't it?
Yeah,
It did well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There was I won't go into. Yeah, there was an accident at one point.
No.
With a revolving fan. But there we are.
Don't go there.
At that point, there was like Puppetry of the Penis, 10 naked men singing, and I was working on something at Battersea Arts Centre where they all got naked as well. And on a daily basis, there was something like, I think I counted 23 people sort of naked that I was working on, so to speak. Very bizarre period of my life, that.
Well, didn't James Norton recently take his kit off?
Well, he did, yeah.
For this show, and somebody
took a
photo with their phone and posted it on the internet. Unfortunately, I didn't see it.
Well, I worked on The Blue Room with
Tracy Shaw
and
Jason Connery.
And they were both nude on stage. It's a David Hare piece. I don't mean a David Hare piece. I mean a David Hare, he's the writer, piece written by David Hare. And I mean, we knew that on the opening night on the first preview, in fact, that there were going to be grainy photographs, because the lighting was done in a particular way. And I don't think the lighting was done in that way in this James Norton piece. So it was less grainy.
It didn't look like a piece that I would like to see. I think it was a bit violent.
I can't remember what it was.
Bloody and...
Can't remember.
Little Life, A Little Life, or something it's called. Some kind of intense theatre piece. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Lovely. So, what else? Oh, Paul, you wanted to bring up a little bugbear, didn't you, Paul?
Did I?
Yes, you did, because you saw a recipe the other day that said, if you don't want to use beef, you can use broccoli instead.
Yeah, it's a beef of mine that people, when they're trying to you see a recipe and then someone says, oh, you can make it vegetarian, or the person who's created the recipe, if you want to make this vegetarian, add some chives to it instead of chicken, or purple sprouting broccoli, instead of the beef. And it's like, what about the protein? You're not talking about protein. If you're going to sub out something in a recipe that is delivering protein, then make sure you when you sub it out, it either has protein or you say make sure you have something else that has protein.
God, it's out of control.
Oh, it's just annoying. It so frustrates me. It really does. I know we don't need protein at every single meal, but we need protein every day. So if your main meal is,
Broccoli.
I'll have purple sprouting broccoli wrap, and there's no protein in it,
Broccoli
it's not
wrap?
good. That's what it was. It was
In a wrap?
fajita thing.
Fangita?
Not fajita.
I think it was,
Fudgy.
Paul. A fajita?
A fajita.
A fangita?
Fajita.
I think that's a word for another thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a word for a lady garden, isn't it?
Fajita wrap. That's fabulous. Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling slightly ill now.
Oh dear. Oh, I think we need to wrap this up and get on. I'm getting a bit lightheaded now.
So we're
Yeah.
an hour in and we've got 151 people watching.
Wow.
How lovely. Don't you smear your dirty hands on my lovely clean throw, Paul.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the point where if you've got any questions, you better ask them now. Answer them.
Answer 'em.
Ask them now.
Oh dear. Because we got more painting to do.
Yeah.
We need to go out and get a primer or something.
We do.
don't
We need to get a
Yeah.
primer for bare wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've scraped a load of paint off our door frame that was flaky.
We got a lot of bare wood at the moment.
How do we envisage daily life will change in Wales? Daily life will hopefully involve a different kind of view, first of all. That's what we're hoping for. We hope not to be on an estate location. We hope to be able to open the curtains in the morning to see a beautiful view. So that will be a big change because that changes how you feel. Looking out the back of our house, it's green.
Our garden.
We have a green view. So that keeps you calm, which is nice. Work-wise, hopefully I'll be still doing some part-time work. And we will be taking, hopefully, some lovely walks on our days off in new areas, new exploration, new places to visit. So that will be the change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never met Mark Almond.
No, neither have I.
No, I did. I think they're on tour at the moment, aren't they? Because I think I saw a picture of him this week on some media or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean about dust, Vivi. It's the same here.
Where does all that dust come from?
It just seems to migrate around the house,
It
doesn't
does.
it? When you do any work.
It does.
It's, I guess, because there's a lot more movement going on in the house.
Yeah, so there's more.
Which involves various things being, moved around.
Well, you do housework every week, don't you?
I vacuum every couple of days. That's what I tend to do. Yeah, exactly, Heather. There will be new opportunities. We'll have to see how things unfold. And that's the exciting thing about moving. And that's the way you have to try and view it. Try not to focus on the stressful parts of it, not to give them too much energy.
Yeah.
Which is quite difficult, but I find we tend to cure that by just getting on with the bloody job. The job in hand that needs to be done. So, yeah. Well, hopefully, Debbie will have enough garden space to grow in the back garden.
Yeah, because the thing is, Debbie, allotments, there's usually a long waiting list for allotments.
Oh, Wallace, we get the same here. We're in an estate location, but there is a lot of traffic around. And over time, it's just the window frames become black with dust. I've done a lot of cleaning recently and just ridiculous.
I wonder if Heathrow adds to anything.
I don't know. I guess there's a lot more fuel debris, air movement. I don't know. It's ridiculous, the amount of dust.
We do have a air monitoring system at the allotment, and the air around here is generally really, really good. And when we had
one in the
took
garden, didn't we?
part in a trial thing a couple of years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, and it was on our palm trees, one of our palm trees, wasn't it? It was strapped around, and we had to leave it there for something like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we sealed it up and sent it off, and looking at the results for that, it was
relatively
decent
good,
air around
relatively
here.
good, but over time it builds up.
Yeah.
Dust builds up on the bits. Oh, it's ridiculous, Stevie. We get certain areas that I vacuumed that the other day under the bed. I did under the bed last week. We've got underbed boxes, which are lovely wooden boxes that came with the bed. And I have to hoik those out, and it was thick. Ridiculous.
Ernie, it's different. That's not Caroline Ernie, is it? It's a different Ernie.
Would you mind
living in isolation? Do you mean true isolation, or do you mean partial isolation? I think I would quite like partial. I think, get away with partial isolation. Full isolation, I'm not sure about.
To go back to Craig, no, I haven't made it since. No.
Wait. That's why.
Yeah, we would eat it all.
Heading into time to windows and doors open.
Heather.
Absolutely, Sam. Yeah, having doors open is lovely. In fact, yesterday, I just to have the door open and go in and out as I was doing things in the garden was rather lovely.
Yeah. You have we remember the time where we had hairy dust bunnies on the stairs. Yeah, remember that.
Regularly.
Yes, of course. Rebecca, the majority of dust is skin flakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
How disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't we shed our whole skin every 7 years?
I thought it was sooner than that. I'm sure Vivi will know.
Don't our cells, our
whole body changes over 7 years, I think. I think our skin, it's something like 2 weeks or something. I don't know. Maybe Vivi does know.
Can you imagine if we did what a snake does and shook off the whole skin?
Bit of shimmying.
Do you remember when we used to brush the cats? There'd virtually be a whole cat
left over. We've got a cat, Rufus, that is quite a street cat. And yesterday it was outside and I was stroking it. And when I came away with my hand was a fistful of fur. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah. It's definitely warmer outside than it's in our house, than it is inside our house. I can't speak today.
What's a trickle vent? Is that the thing at the top?
Yeah.
At the top.
Yeah.
I think I quite like that airflow though.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You can shut them.
Yeah, I mean ours can be shut. So we have done that at some points, but they're open at the moment.
We do have mosquitoes in the UK. Yeah, we do. Mainly near water.
Well, only near water.
No, we've had them in the garden.
Yeah, that's water and damp conditions.
Yeah.
They not gestate, they hatch in water, so that's where they come from. They hatch and they fly and then they bite you.
You've got a little cut on your hand.
That's Rufus.
He scratched you?
Yeah.
What did you do to him?
Well, you know how he does. He goes like that. After about 5 minutes of stroking, he bites you.
Okay, so let's wind up the party with what have we watched on television this week? We don't have coyotes, but we have foxes, Heather.
Yeah.
That make noises at night.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So, Paul, what have we watched on television this week?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian continues to be fantastic. Picard continues to be fantastic, although we're almost at the end.
We are, of the whole series.
Talk about a perilous situation. Yeah.
I think The Mandalorian is possibly one of my favourite programmes ever.
Really?
Yeah, I really, really love it.
Is that because of the Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda.
Yeah. We've also rewatched the 90s show Spaced.
Yeah.
Which we thoroughly enjoyed.
What? A completely bizarre happening at the allotment on Monday, I think it was. I was at the allotment. We'd been watching Spaced, and one of my fellow plot neighbours was there, and we were talking, and we started talking about Spaced, and she said, "Oh, I love Spaced. It's absolutely fantastic. I remember it so well. Is it on Channel 4? Maybe I can rewatch it." I said, "Yeah, we're watching it on the catch up 4 thing." So we were laughing about things as we were going to the gate, and one of the things in Space is when something happens, they sometimes go, "Yay!" So when we got to the gate, my plot neighbour said something, and we both went at the same time, "Yay!"
Anyway, and skipped to the end.
The person outside said, "Oh, you seem quite happy." And we said, "Oh, we were just talking about Spaced, and we really enjoy it and love it." And I said, "It's amazing. It just hasn't aged. It's 20 years old now. It hasn't aged." And he said, "Oh, Edgar would like to know that." I went, "You should tell him." And I went, "Who's Edgar?" He said, "He's the director and he's in the pub." And then 30 seconds later, this guy and his girlfriend or wife and their dog came over, and we started chatting, and it was the director of both series of Spaced. And we, I mean, that was just so bizarre. It really was. And one of his inspirations in life was the film An American Werewolf in London. And just before I went down to the plot, I had looked up where An American Werewolf in London was available to stream, and I put it down for us to watch. Ooh. Isn't that bizarre? Because, of course, A Guernsey Gardener in London is also inspired via Richard from
American Werewolf in London.
There we are.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Very bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. And it turns out that Edgar is the brother of one of our plot neighbours.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Amazing.
Never knew that.
I always say, when that kind of synchronicity occurs, it's a sign that you're in the right place at the right time, and that you should keep on doing what you're doing and trust in the universe.
Trust in the ether. Yes.
Not the ether. The universe.
Caroline, yes, I am writing, but I'm finding it a struggle at the moment with all the anxiety and stress around moving house, to be honest. So, yeah.
We also tried the new version, another new bloody version of Great Blooditations. No, we weren't convinced, were we?
No, not really.
Particularly.
I don't think I would choose to watch the rest of the series. If it's on and there's nothing else to watch, might watch it, but no, didn't do much for me.
At the end of the day, it's what I said about Harry Potter. I mean, how many times can you bloody remake something? Really?
I mean, the David Lean Great Expectations is still one of the best.
If it tells the story, why does it need to be remaking unless it's telling a different story?
There we are, Stevie Weavy. I still think the David Lean one. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Synchronicity there, Stevie Weavy. Synchronicity.
What is?
Stevie Weavy typed exactly what I said at the time I said it. Poems and stories. Aurora Storm, drop an email to us, Richard and Paul. The email address is down below in the details. Drop an email to me, and I'll come back to you.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Heather, I'm running the risk of sounding like Jennifer Coolidge. Well, and anyway, yeah. With anything in entertainment, there are very few new ideas.
Well, there's 7 stories, basically.
Yeah, there are, aren't they? The devices that are used in storytelling, they're just reused, which is, I guess, why a lot of these new shows rely on mind-blowing effects, rapid twists and turns, surprises. Do you know what I mean? They're having to turn to these things to keep our attention because our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, aren't they?
Yeah.
As time goes on. I don't know about you, but I'm guilty as anybody else at looking at the smartphone and scrolling through the reels on Instagram or the shorts on YouTube till I come to something that catches my eye. And, that's the thing. It's, of course, Star Wars is, it's a Western. It's also a war film with dogfights, but, they're not biplanes. They're space fighters,
Cat fights and dog fights are quite different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We haven't watched Interior Design Masters. No. So what else have we watched? The Power.
Why didn't they ask
What?
Evans?
Oh.
Another remake.
Another remake.
This time written and directed and starring Hugh Laurie. Yeah.
It was okay. Meh.
I didn't find anything. I mean, there were things completely new because Hugh Laurie had created new stories within Why Didn't They Ask Evans? But I didn't feel that there was a thread to actually fully understand why they didn't ask Evans until it was pointed out. Because that's what I think is wonderful about the book, that there is, you're told early on about something that delivers the why didn't they ask Evans answer. So, yeah, I didn't feel that was there.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. I actually can't remember that bit.
Can't you?
No. Because it was so unspectacular.
Yeah. Well, Beverly, you ask about Sherlock Holmes, and again, you see there's been so many remakes of Sherlock Holmes over the years. But interestingly, when they did Elementary, they completely renewed Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
It was a completely
they turned
fresh,
it on its head, didn't they?
Utterly. It was so fresh. It was amazing.
That show. We loved it.
Absolutely loved every moment.
And of course, Lucy
Elementary.
Liu playing Dr. Watson was just a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd have brought in the trans character playing the housekeeper, Mrs.
Yeah.
What was her name? Mrs. somebody.
Can't remember.
So there you go.
Yeah, Detectorists, again, always worth a rewatch. Brilliant. Annika, bit of something went then. Annika, fabulous. I hope they're doing another series.
Jeremy
Brett.
It was. Jeremy Brett. Yeah. He was good.
He was good, yeah.
There we go. So just to round off, we watched The Power. We continue to watch The Power, which we're really enjoying with Toni Collette, who we love. And we've watched all the usuals. MSW.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote.
What other usuals have we watched?
QT, who hasn't been on.
No, so we haven't watched that. Dragon's
Den.
We haven't watched that. No, we haven't
did,
watched that.
we?
No, we haven't watched that. No, we haven't.
No. So we haven't watched the usuals then.
No, Murder, She Wrote is
Just
the only
MSW.
one. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So
and
there
we're
you go.
almost at the sort of end of the full block of series of Murder, She Wrote as well. We're on season 12. So even though there were ones after that, they were shorter or standalone sort of TV movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So there we are. That's another live show drawing to a close.
Done and dusted.
You make it sound like a chore, Paul.
Oh dear.
It's never a chore. Never a chore.
Psychological drama. I don't know which one that is. Somebody did say they'd finished Stevie Weavy, maybe had finished Unforgotten, and that was a good series. Yeah, we enjoyed that.
Yes.
Considering it, considering where it came from and the mountain, in my opinion, it had to climb to make up for the loss of the main actor that we had got to love. Very interesting. Yeah.
They're doing a second series of Annika.
Great.
Oh, good. Love Nicola Walker.
Great. And if you do like Annika, then there are 15-minute audio series available on BBC Sounds. Quite a lot of them, actually.
We listened to those in winter, didn't we?
We did.
In the snug.
We did. Yeah.
Yes.
So, there we
Lovely. So there we are. That's it. So we're going to say goodbye now. Thank you, bloody thank you for watching. And
thank you for joining us. 158. Thank you very much.
I was just saying thank you, and you just cut across me like a rude thing. I think you can get in that kitchen and make lunch.
Oh, we need to go and get that primer.
Get up those stairs and do a wee. Do you know who I'm quoting? You don't, do I?
It's Thingy.
Get up those stairs and do a wee.
No, I don't know.
No, you don't, do you?
I thought it was Abigail's Party.
No.
No. Well, it sounded like it.
Well, no, it's in the same vein.
Don't know.
Brenda Blethyn.
Oh, Brenda Blethyn,
From,
yeah.
Oh God, what's it called? With Jane Horrocks. Anyway, life is sweet.
Life is sweet. Yeah. Gosh, that was good, wasn't it?
Life is sweet.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah,
in
but
places.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, bloody thank you.
Thank you all.
Take care of yourselves.
I did it again.
Take care. Have a good week. No, I think we need to eat before we go out because I'm feeling a little bit woo.
Okay, we'll eat. Right. Okay. Bye all.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Oh, are school kids back tomorrow?
Au revoir.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the school kids are back tomorrow, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Take care.
See you next week.
Super duper.
And of course, you'll be able to watch A Week at the Plot at 8:15 tomorrow morning. And segments on Planet Vegetaria throughout the week. Bye all.
I'm putting the phone down first. I am. Bye.
Bye.